Okay, now I have to make sure.
Does it have the red REC on the screen?
Okay, and that can be erased after.
Hmm?
That can be erased. Okay. Hi everyone, my name is Nikita Lamour. It's a pleasure to come here to talk with you today. I've wanted to speak because people who are my friends on Facebook notice that I always write, and I don't know if my message gets across, but I think I want to speak because there's so much going on. By the time I write it, people don't read it, so I just feel I have to write. And also I've wanted to do this since January, and we are now in July. I've wanted to start the long weekend, followed by the week of Christian Unity, the week of January 18th to January 25th, because I will be doing those presentations as an educator with a theological background, and I will look at things from the lenses of faith and education. Okay, as mentioned, I've wanted to do it back in January, and the reason why it was challenging for me to do Zoom and YouTube live. So I was thinking of recording, of talking while doing the recording to have it done via Zoom and YouTube. But I was hearing so many echoes, so many things that I'm not familiar with. So I finally got a friend. I use my webcam. The one in Creole is my laptop. But I have some professionals who didn't like the laptop, so they let me use their camera. So I don't know when I can use a camera when when this friend is not around. But anyway, all right. So what I want to do, I want to speak about current events. That was the plan. That was the agenda. I wanted to speak about what's going on in the schools and what's going on in my local area and in the larger world. So maybe I may have to forget about the Creole version, and it's going to be because I'm working, I have to work full time, and I also do, beside this project that I've started, I'll have a multimedia production some multimedia productions that I'm working on too. It's taken me forever. So I've started it during COVID in March 2020, and I thought it was going to take me 3 months, and I'm still researching, and every time I find something, I keep on going to the next information, try to find the next info. So I didn't realize that research takes so long. But anyway, it's very interesting. I was so proud of myself. Today I was, as I said, I'm doing things from a faith perspective, primarily from the Catholic faith. And I was looking at the website, the Facebook of the National Black Catholic Congress, and one of the Marian depiction I've used in one of my video productions, the Congress has it as their own, that's their main frame, their main theme, I would say. Because since I'm not there, I have to, maybe Monday or next week, I will call somebody to find out, is it really the theme? Is it really the Mary that they are presenting? So I feel so proud. So, I was trained by the same people. So we went to Xavier, with the Jesuits. So we have the same training, but to see that, they're using the picture that I have as their theme, as their background. There's an entire crowd taking pictures with that Marian production, that Marian that I've used in my production. So, I was very angry at myself that I didn't finish that project in 3 months. But to see, like, the whole the National Catholic Congress, they call it, I think it's Congress 13, they're using that Marian depiction as their background theme, because people are taking pictures in stairways. I think they are in Maryland, somewhere in Maryland, but in the DMV area, because they've had their liturgy at the Basilica, Our Lady of Basilica, Immaculate Basilica, whatever it's called, you know. Anyway, so I'm glad. Okay, so I do also, the reason why I wanted to have it via Zoom, have the presentation, this program via Zoom, is to be able to share screen, you know, share my screen with the audience, because everything that I'm about to say, it's all written down. So, because people don't read, our people don't read. So there's a saying that says, if you want to keep a secret from black people, put it in writing. So I will have if I were to do it via Zoom, I would have simply gone through the agenda, you know, show the audience the agenda. So that's why I've wanted to do the presentations via Zoom and then share screen it. But anyway, so my friend let me use his camera. Okay, so what do I have? So that week that I've wanted to start, that will have been the January 15, as I said. It was MLK, the Martin Luther King weekend. Back in January, it's a lot of, there was a lot of, how do I say, the noise. It's a lot of, the main noise was about the Martin Luther King's sculpture, Embrace, that was in Boston Common, if people remember. There were all sort of comments, comments about that sculpture that doesn't really look like the Embrace that Dr. King and Coretta Scott and Dr. King had in Boston. So they were just embracing them together. They were just, but that picture, some people say just, you know, depending on the angle that you are looking at, it just looks different. It just doesn't look like two human beings, period. Some people even go as saying that it looks like a phallus. So that was the talk of that January, that weekend. That was the talk of the January weekend. So I said I didn't want to go back to it and do something, you know, I think that everything coincides. And it was the Biden-Harris administration after. But anyway, so it's summer, so I'm doing it in the summer. So you can go see it in Boston. If you come to visit Boston, go see that Embrace sculpture at Boston Common. Okay, and I wanted to talk about school and education. One of what I want to do is, I've planned to do, since if you see that book, that's what I like that too. You know, you can see this book that's called Parent Power. So as an educator, I wanted to parental involvement. It's critical, it's crucial. So without the parents, kids are not learning. So if we as parents, as community leaders, I think I even go further than parents. So I think the leaders, the stakeholders, those of us professionals, we have to be involved. We have to be involved, be engaged with the community as well. So this book, I had it back in, I think 2009, 2010, but I didn't have an audience. I didn't have, anybody who was interested. I wasn't teaching, I was in a school. And 2009, did we have Zoom, YouTube? So it's just like you wanted a live audience. You wanted to have a meeting, to like workshop training, to read with the parents, to present that book. But now with YouTube, I can do it. For instance, it says Parent Power is build the bridge to success. To parents, we cannot tell our kids to do well in school. That by former President Obama, July 17, 2009. To parents, we cannot tell our kids to do well in school and then fail to support them when they get home. You cannot just contract out parenting. For our kids to excel, we have to accept our responsibility to help them learn. That means putting away the Xbox and putting our kids to bed at a reasonable hour. It means attending those parent-teacher conferences and reading to our children and helping them with their homework. President Barack Obama, July 17, 2009. And as parents, We have to be responsible, accept our roles as the parent, and make education a priority in your home. But I think President Obama mentions make education priority in the home. Not only in the home, I go further, I say in the community. So I just don't sense there's enough learning in our community. I mean, in the Black community, it's not enough learning happening because the kids go to school, the teachers do the learning, the teaching, and the kids do the learning. But what I've observed over the years as a teacher, like communities will do their own after school. They have leaders in the communities doing after school with the kids or doing Saturday schools, even if it's faith related, even if it means learning about whatever, Judaism, learning the Islamic culture, the Buddhist culture, the Hindu culture. So whatever cultures the kids come from, when the community leaders engage the young children in those Saturday programs, those groups tend to do better in school. There tend to be less social, emotional issues in the school when there's learning happening in their internal community. So that's what I want to say. I go beyond the home. So I'm talking with the stakeholders, with community leaders. So we have to be involved in the school, in learning. The kids, they have to see learning in their internal environment. The churches, the community centers, at the home also. So you have to read, like what I'm doing here, it can happen in the church. As I said, I'm going to be talking about faith and education. These are those two entities that I've spent my entire life learning. So whatever I do, I'm going to, as I said, I'm going to speak within the lenses of faith and education. Okay, be responsible, be committed. Once you have begun to work with your child, continue doing so throughout the year, all the time. Just keep working. Be positive. Praise goes a long way with children, especially with those who struggle in school. Positive feedback provide good learning. Be patient. Show your child that you care through your commitment and encouragement. Be attentive. Stop your child immediately when bad behaviors happen. Show him or her what to do and provide an opportunity to do it correctly. Discipline should be appropriate and consistent. Be precise. Provide clear and direct instructions. Be mindful of mistakes. Record your child's performance. Look over all the work your child brings home from school and keep it in a folder. Help him or her correct any errors. Be results oriented. Gather information on how your child is performing in school. Keep notes of conferences with teachers. Request progress reports, like we call report cards. Ask them, request them from the teachers. And carefully read the report cards. Don't just get them. Carefully read the report cards and the achievement test results. See how the kids have done. Ask questions about these results. Be diligent. Work from the beginning to the end of the year with your child and the teacher. Be innovative, be creative. Keep learning, lively and dynamic. Be there, be present. Just be there for your child to answer questions, to listen, to give advice, to encourage and to speak positively about his or her life. Be there to support your child whenever needed. Yeah, I remember when I was in school in Haiti, my grandmother was there. Even though she didn't read, but she was there. And then she would back up what I was saying. I would say supplement what I was saying. What I was, like in Haiti, we learn by rote learning. And then when I was reciting a chapter or a paragraph, oh, that president, he did such and such a thing. So she will tell me about Antoine Simon, the Cacos that we call the Chabai Peralt. So she was alive, so she knew those stories. So she will kind of supplement what I was learning by heart. I was like memorizing. Okay. Also, what I have is what I've planned in the agenda is to, I did say I don't like to talk about sports. I have sports, but as I'm doing this, it's the Women's World Cup that started July 20th. It will go on to August. Today, the Women's Haiti, that's the first time the Haiti's women's team is participating in the World Cup. The first time the women in Haiti are participating in the World Cup, which is very interesting. Haiti, many people have never seen that, but when I was a kid, I remember when I was a kid, the Haiti went to the World Cup, I think in '74, a long time ago. So this generation is very happy, very excited. It's a different world with YouTube, with live stream. We may have to wake up early. It's a different time schedule. It's in Australia, New Zealand. So the North American teams are playing in New Zealand. So it's a different time schedule, waking up at 5, but it's different from 40, 50 years ago, when I think it was in '74 when Haiti participated in the male team participated in the World Cup. So everybody's happy, excited, because Haiti tends to be, that's why they report Haiti like the poorest country in the hemisphere. So they probably don't expect that much from the team, but the women team did very well. So England, there's a retake penalty kick. So penalty kick is like a free goal. So they didn't take any goals, really normal goals from the Brits. So it was very pride game. We were very proud of Haiti's team. Okay, so in terms of school, what is happening? So I'm doing this recording in the summer, so it's vacation. Probably the Creole one probably had the budget July 1st, so budgets were finalized. I probably had spoken about that in the Creole version. And also there were grants for in my town, mini grants that people could have written, like 501c3s, non-profits. But I don't think my community, the Black community, had non-profits. So maybe we will have the results. It will be on the paper who had obtained the grants. But I don't have any non-profit, but I did write to the mayor. I did write to the committee that I don't have non-profit, but these are my plans. My plan is, I had a plan to bring the stakeholders together, because people are not talking, and this is affecting the fact that there's no communication among stakeholders. Those who are more vulnerable are not getting the resources that they need to succeed. And we have a lot of non-migrants from Chile, from Brazil, from South America. So people who have hiked from South America to the southern border and then come all over the states. So a lot of them are coming to Boston. But if the leaders, the stakeholders are not speaking with each other, so the most vulnerable immigrants will not get the resources, and things are very challenging. Things are tough. Things are hard, like housing. If you're in Boston, housing is very expensive, and within the metro 495, 93 area, one cannot find housing. It's expensive. So the new migrants, if they get a job, they're working like $12, $13 an hour. How can they afford a $2,000 or $3,000 apartment? And you have the President Biden parole, humanitarian parole program. They have to wait. Those who are accepted, they have their beneficiaries have to provide for them, for 2 years. Or that's what they had to put in the I-134. They had to put that they're able to help support their sponsors. But we know how expensive food can be. I know people who have brought 5 relatives, friends to their homes, 3, 4. It's even myself. It's very it's hard. It's hard to buy groceries. It's very difficult. It's challenging. It's expensive. In other words, it's expensive to eat. So you have 4 or 5 people to feed. It cuts. It's expensive, and then that gets into rift, I would say, among family members who are in the home. So, and the homes are tight. It's a lot. I'm seeing a lot with those who are coming from who are no who are being trying to establish themselves in Boston, to put it this way, with housing, waiting to have jobs, waiting for their permits or their social security numbers to come. They just it's challenging for both. Okay, so both, I mean, the sponsors and the beneficiaries, the person who's receiving you and you in the homes, because somebody told me in Haiti they are used to stay with the doors open, and they come here. It's in the winter, it's cold, in the summer it's hot, so it's a lot of challenges. So I would even say that some people not a lot of people coming from Brazil, they hiking through the forest, and some of them got walked by. They see people being eaten by animals. People have died, so a lot of them have don't survive that journey from hiking from South America, from Brazil and Chile, notably. That's because a lot of people went to Brazil for construction when Brazil hosted the World Cup. Was it 2012, 2014, the last time that Brazil hosted the World Cup. It now the World Cup had been over, so it's been two. There's been 2018, 2022. So people are leaving. They've left. So the economy is affecting every country, not just us in the U.S. So it's hard. So I know there's a lady who's telling people to come from Haiti to come, but it's the housing, the food. It's not fun. Okay, and also what I say, what I've advised, I think I did say that in the Creole version, read the papers. So most of the local information, that's why I got them. And most of my information, so I'm old-fashioned, so that's local paper. And I have, this is the Globe. I read it too. So to get the national, like the world news, put think globally and act locally. So I do get it online. I do both. Sometimes I would get the Sunday. I think this one says Sunday Globe. I get the Sunday, and then that has the Metro section. I have a library calendar from the library. Go to the library. I've said that to my families. I work with parents to families now. The library, make the library your second home. Half of the things I've learned, I didn't learn them in school. I learned them learning by myself in the library. So this library has the calendar. It's a lot of activities going on. You can have a card, free card. You can get a card so you can go to many cultural places like museums at reduced price. You can go for a group. You can go 3, 4, 5 people. So it's good to have to go to the library and participate in events that occur in the library. Okay, so that's the local paper. I was saying, like I mentioned, the mini grants, the Malden launches mini grants program to aid non-profit organizations. So I'm not a non-profit, but I did write a one-page plan to the committee who was reading the grants. Okay, more papers. So I'm in the Metro North, so I read different papers from different towns in the Metro North area. This is the Cambridge Chronicle, the Malden Advocate, the Everett Independent. So I do read, even though sometimes my brothers would tell me, you can get those online, but I don't know, for some reasons, I'm an old-fashioned. My father, I remember that my father was reading the paper, in Haiti, taking the output, how do they call that, toilet outside. So, he will bring a paper with him, 2 papers. So now I think, papers are getting out of business because of the internet. So my father used to read the paper, and my mother used to write. she will write in anything. So I've inherited reading and writing from my father and my mother. So that's what in Parent to Power, it says to read to your child. And one of the reasons I have YouTube, I have tapes where I only read. I say because reading doesn't take time. Okay? And I hope I've said something you've learned from, to read and to participate in budget meetings. Yes, the school is closed, but they have the city council meetings, so they discuss the budget. So if you don't participate, you'll see it. You see the papers will report, how much money the budget was, things that are the items that the budget covers. And if you don't read the paper, it's on the web, it's in the internet, it's on the website of your local city hall. You can see how they're going to spend tax dollars. You can see at the state, you can see at the city level how the millions or the billions at the city's billions. It's in the paper. I just don't want to say it off my head, but the Massachusetts budget is on the paper. I think when I did it in Creole, I did mention the Mayor Wu's budget for Boston, how many billions it was. So read the paper. So that's what I'm doing this. I wanted to do, as I said, via Zoom, so I could screen share the agenda. I could screen share most of what I'm saying. I think I wrote it, so I probably didn't read from the script, but that's what I would want to do. So I will keep watching the World Cup. And I said that I don't cover sports, but I think this is history for Haiti to be, the women to be on the world stage. Oh, also I have to say that I'm also excited because back in 1991, Haiti was on the stage, because the first international match was played, it's called CONCACAF, the North America and the Caribbean. It was played in Haiti. So Haiti hosted the first female international tournament. And it was sad. I wrote that in my Facebook page. It was sad. I was happy. I cried this morning. I cried when I was watching Haiti and England game, because I was sad. I was happy, like some tears of joy, happiness, sadness. Happy because Haiti was playing, and I was there. The first one, 1991, we raised $25,000 in Boston, so to help Haiti. I mean, it costs money. So I was happy because of that. So I'm living history. I was part of history in 1991, and I'm living that. But I'm sad because I'm not able to do what we did in 1991 when we had less. There was no internet, no cell phone. Did we use computers? No. But we were able to raise $25,000 in 2 or 3 weeks to help Haiti. And then I know these women in this team, they are coming from all over. They are in France, they are in Florida, they are in Haiti, they are in DR. I mean, we could have helped them with the plane tickets, but the lack of communication, people are so fixated in their screens, so we're not talking with each other. So I know there's a group that went to New Zealand. I've wanted to go because I've been involved with that group. As I said, I raised fund, $25,000. We were part of a group called Coast Club. We raised $25,000. So I wanted to be there, but nobody's talking. Nobody's talking with one another. So I'm happy, but I'm sad. I'm angry too because we're not talking. Happy because after 40 years, 50 years, I think it's 50, yeah, 73, 74. Close to 50 years. So 50 years ago it was the men. When I was a kid, it was the men, but now it's the women who are participating. So which is good. But the fundraising, the interactions that existed like 30 or 50 years ago, when we had less, we had less technology, we did more. So we study history. We've said that in history, we did our ancestors did more with the limited capacity that they had, and we have so much. But I don't know, people are so content, I would say. Should I say people are so content or happy with what they have, and they don't see the collective. They don't see how if we were to do what we did 30, 50 years ago, the no migrants that we have now, life will have been easier for them. Okay, so I think I've covered everything in my agenda, and I hope to see you again another time to cover another topic. It was a topic regarding faith and education and current events. Okay, bye-bye. See you again.